Testing. Oh, I hear this. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get started. So, this is our first rehearsal that is still quasi half in-person, half virtual, but very first rehearsal that the in-person portion. I can't control that, but can somebody else make this a little louder, please? Testing, testing. They're working on that, but with a little feedback. But this is the first rehearsal that we have that is to kind of alter tenor bass. So we have all four voice parts here. So, welcome to rehearsal. So, as most of you know, I spent the last 3 weeks in Germany because there's this growing insistence that American musicians don't have as much awareness to the various lineages, like the French traditions, the German traditions, the English traditions, the Russian traditions. And while we do know some very basic level musicianship, like German music tends to be heavier than French music, we talk about in rehearsal that French music tends to be a little bit more horizontal than vertical, whereas Germanic music, like English or German music, it has a little bit more pulse and beat to it. There's not as much of a distinction between how we play and the fact that we don't have as much rehearsal time often. We just throw music together, there's not enough time to go into the various repertoire. And so my sort of quasi-sabbatical in Germany was really to go to Hamburg and Köln and Berlin, and to really start to see what those houses do in terms of how they approach the music, especially Germanic music. And so I saw Das Rheingold, and Elektra, which is by Richard Strauss. As you know, the story of Elektra is Elektra wishing the death of her mother, and a lot of really fantastic things. But it's really fantastic because it really is a sort of a different level of commitment, because they were saying that the orchestra members, each individual orchestra member might have around 90 services in a month, which means that some days that they have 3 rehearsals, some days 2 rehearsals. There's one day where they had a 5-hour Hauptprobe, which is sort of the thing right before the dress, and 5 hours for the orchestra would be ludicrous in any other place. And it was really fantastic. But it's given me a lot of insights into some of the Germanic music, and it's something that I want to sort of write more about, because again, I don't think this is something that's traditionally been an oral. It's passing down through generations orally, and through working at a house. And I worked with this student who was a student of Beethoven and whatnot. But there's no actual literature that talks about how we phrase things, how things are structured, what the various repertoires, like what makes Debussy sound different than Ravel or Strauss different from Wagner, even though those are in the same house. So, anyways, I'm excited because both these pieces are Germanic. So we have Brahms and Mendelssohn, and those are, Hamburg is where Brahms was for most of his time, right? And he used to play in the Reeperbahn there, which is sort of the red light district of Hamburg. And when he was 13, right? And so much of his angst and issues with women and everything have to do with his childhood experiences, like literally playing in the prostitute houses and, on the river and everything. But anyways, so when he talks about fate and history and Clara Schumann and everything, you can tell that there's a lot of anxiety there. But okay, we're going to start with Mendelssohn first, but not until we do a warm-up. So everybody's standing up, and we're going to get right back into it. Now, I have to say, I got off the plane today, and I was a little bit struck about how warm it is here. But imagine this in Hamburg, and it's absolutely freezing, and it's cold and dark and rainy and stuff. But what you want to do is, again, warm up your body so that you're occupied and very aware of your physical nature of your body, and just like anybody should be very aware of their instrument. Our bodies are our instruments, and so we just want to make sure that everything's good. So for me, I have a lot of, not back issues, but I have to be aware of my posture, so I really try to focus on my shoulders, rolling them around, and trying loosening them both up and down, but back and forth too. And so circles are really good for that. And then, if you have any like slouching issues, make sure you get your hip isolated in the right place. Rock side to side a little bit, and try to find that center where you really feel like you have good posture, that you're lifted from your sternum, and then you have width and breadth. Okay, so from this space, our head rests on top of our spine, and you really want to, again, feel like you're never looking up to speak, to sing, but that you're looking up through your eyeballs, but your head is slightly tilted down, and that, again, that you're being lifted like a mother cat with kittens, lifting from the nape of the neck, or some people like to think of a marionette, the string goes there. You really want to feel like there's length in your neck, and that you don't compromise your vocal apparatus and this area by lifting your chin too much. And then open your mouth as much as you can with your mask. And yawn to really feel like the jaw goes back in this position, back and down. Now, generally, most people are actually slightly lower than where I am. So you have to really think about not looking up with your chin, but really staying where you are. Let's do a sigh on ooh, really high. That's fantastic. It's a very different feeling to feel SATB size versus SA size versus TB size, right? It's like when women's soccer became a really, really huge thing. They said that in the stadiums, the sound of the audience was very different, right? Because a lot of girls were at the matches and whatnot. Okay, so let's take another side note and excellent. Slightly warming up. And then we're going to do our consonant exercises, which are really important because through the mask it feels like it's a little hard, but you can really actually hear them clearly. So it's a good sort of crutch for us to really focus on. So we're going and that's excellent. That's fantastic. So there can be no excuse that those masks are hindering our consonant production. That's really, really great. One of the big things in Germany where they want everything to be hyper clear. It's like the Lutheran tradition, the Texas format. One more time. 2 M. Yeah. If you have to really have every single one articulate, and the way to have it articulate is to be really grounded and to have nice support. Either all pitch or sustain, but it's very hard to do without support. I can't even do it. Try that once, just the fast one. 2 and. Good, not bad. Now try to do that off your support. Oh, it's really going to be weird because it's hard to mess up. And yeah. And one more time, the right way. 2 and. Yeah, excellent. Another side. Ooh. Maybe a little higher. And again, very buoyant and light. And don't feel like you're reaching up to the top, but you're just going. So it's like I don't know, like a golf ball going. Okay, right? And. Excellent. Let's do D major. It's missing a third there for a while. Sorry, let's go again. Ni vu ni vu ni vu ni vu ni. Let's just do that. Again, use this. Don't let the consonants feel compromised because of the mask. But this time, what we're going to do is we're focusing on the placement of the vowel. Ni vu versus ni vu versus. You hear the difference between those three? You really want to go ni vu ni. Even though ni sounds perfectly fine, you really want to try to get a little bit more forward. Ni vu, and I feel like focused a little bit more on the upper lip. 2 and. Don't get late. So the weird thing that I'm hearing right now is that there's this, we're missing our ensemble rhythm, our sense of pulse that we generate ensemble-wise. And there's two types of pulses. There's your individual pulse, and then there's a pulse that the ensemble has, and we sort of all contribute to that. Right now, probably because it's been a really, really long time, we're sort of feeling out what that is again. So I want you to do this exercise again. Let's go back to E flat major, so we're going to call her down. But I want you to be very aware of what other people are doing and connect to them, even if it's people who are just right next to you. Even if they're just right next to you, then we still have a network. But right now, we don't have that network. It feels like individual nodes. Okay? Yeah, that's good. It has nothing to do with volume, your breath, or the consonants. It really just has to do with your mental ability to connect to other people. Suddenly it got softer, and there was no consonants. So the same energy, same consonants, but just have your ears open as well. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Let's go back to D major. Again, nice crescendo. All the way down. And then try to keep the same thing. Even though it's not going to be we're not going to have it but and instead of it being on the upper lip for the nivu, this one I feel like on the cheekbones. Okay, there you go, 2, and. Sorry. Whatever key we're in. That's E flat. That's D major. Let's pick that one. Better, but there's no crescendo, and then we were surprised with the breath because I didn't count off that time. Yeah, and the goal is to go instead of keep the ah. Tempo. Yeah. So this time, the ensemble beat is thinking about the third beat and clicking off it. Right now we're getting that's what you can hear apparently in the microphone. Okay, we're at F. Is that it? E flat. We haven't moved. That's it. Nice. Now crescendo. Almost. Crescendo. And done. We lost the tempo. Great. This year, I refuse to exaggerate the music so everybody's aware. The music doesn't go just so we can hear and see the third beat. So I'm not going to go just that's all we need. So if you don't see it, it's because we're supposed to do that inherently. If there's accents that go boom, then I will do an accent that goes boom. But not if we're just doing counting the third beat. Okay? One more time. Key. Okay. Keep it up. Yeah. It's still late coming off the tie, as we say. Excellent. Okay. And then the D major, da, ya, right? And da. That was really excellent. It didn't feel like you were stretching or there was so much weight in it and it had to be any force to it. That's great. Okay, everybody sit down. Let's look at the Mendelssohn movement number 6. Okay, so we're going to start at the very beginning and see where we're at with this. Now remember, I just heard a whole bunch of people saying, ah. And remember, you seated down, especially on the pews that are tilted backwards. You want to be seated, you're standing from the waist up, slightly tilted forward, so you really have lots of singing posture. We don't want to lose any of what we just warmed up on. I want to try. That's a little fast. Number 6 from the beginning. 2 and now. Okay, let's start by 33. How about that? I'll give you 1, 2, come talking, okay? Okay, maybe a little slower. Ta 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 ya ta ta ta. Okay, 33, 2, and 1, 2. Okay, can you play along with that maybe? Come talking. That's a little slower. Ta 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 pa 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 pa. And 1, 2. Ta 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 ta. And done. Altos join. 2, 3, 4. In. No. Rush. Ta 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 ta. In. Altos. Rush. Ta 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 ta. Basses. Tenors. Tenors. Everybody. Tenors, altos, sopranos, basses, and basses, bass, 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 everything. Nice! We got to the end together. Excellent, excellent. Oh, this is such a fun piece. Now, we are obviously nowhere near performance tempo, but it's perfectly fine. I would like to start from bar 284. Household oil. Ka. You're singing on an ah sound. Okay, starting the bar. Now remember, this breaks the pattern. Ta 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 is not here. Ta 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 ta. Okay, ready? 1, 2, and da. Not bad. I heard not a single K. See, that's the point of the warm-up, is that you prove that you can do consonants through those masks. So it needs to be here. Ka, right? Start from 284. Hold the first note, 2, and da. There's nobody on da, except for the sopranos, okay? So make sure tenors and altos are on the same note one more time. Ka, right? Everybody? 2, and da. Nope, I lost the K. Ready? 2, and da. Yeah. Excellent. Now let's do ta 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 ta. Right? Ready? 1, 2, and da. Not bad. I don't hear the notes. We hear ta 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 ta. Right? So everyone, 284. That's slow. Ta 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 ta. 2, and da. Yeah, I don't hear the notes. Can we do from sopranos and altos slowly? Ta 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 ta, right? 2, and da. last time without Paul? Right, without Paul? And I'm still using the K. Don't get out of practice. 2 and Yeah. Ho. Don't sing the U. Don't sing the L. It's just ho. Not ho you. Okay. Ho. Okay. Tenors and basses. Right. 2 and Yeah. Ka. Don't think cow. Just we never sing diphthongs. We never ever sing diphthongs. I don't care if the word has 5 vowels in it. Sing the first one. Okay. 2 and Yeah. The opening pitches. What I hear is ka instead of ka. Try to breathe in the pitch that you have so that you can sing the pitch instead of singing and then trying to choose a pitch after you start singing. Okay? 2 and Yeah. I still hear people saying cow as if you're singing C-O-W. That's what we call a diphthong. It's multiple vowels that you're trying to sing over the course of one long note. And for singing, we want to sing on one vowel for as long as possible. And if there's extra vowels at the end, we tack them on about this long. But it's like ka, not cow, right? So that's what's called a diphthong. Cow, cows. You put it at the very, very end. But please don't say cow. Okay? Sorry, tenors and basses, right? Pitches. 2, breathe in the pitch, and. Yeah, I don't hear the pitches. So, tenors alone. Da, ba, 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 right? 2 and Yeah. It still sounds like people are singing a U. Can you just sing ka, C-A-H, 2 and That's better. Okay. Now all 4 voice parts. 1 with a K, 2 and Yeah, with Paul. Yep. And then just like the altos did, there's no breath after that, just sustain off of that. Ta 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 ta. Bum. Okay. One more time. 284. 1, 2, and percussive to scare the Christians away, right? The priests away. Compt. So the K and a T. Can we just do 301? Ready? 2 and Yeah, I'm still lacking K. Ready? 1, 2 and Yeah, if you came up here, you would hear no K, like literally. So we talked about this maybe a couple years ago or not. There are certain things that when you're in a large group, you have to overemphasize. And there are certain things that you do as a group that you have to underemphasize because it comes across too much. Vowel manipulation is one of the ones where if everybody does it perfectly and one person changes the vowel and goes ow or something like that, then what you hear is everybody doing it. So that's something that you have to be really hard on yourself to be like, no, I'm not going to do it diphthong, I'm saying cows, right? However, consonants, it could be everybody doing it like 50% and it'll sound like nobody's doing it. You have to do consonants that are not what we normally do in speech. You have to exaggerate what it is. Because in singing, it takes much more energy to produce it. So you have to think much more energy and emphasis to do it. It's not going to be, we don't go around all day talking like this. But when we sing, you have to do the consonants like that. It really is sort of like put spit guards on the people in front of you type of thing. Compt, compt, compt. That's the level of consonants when you sing. Okay, 301. In this case, it's an exercise specifically to do that because it is supposed to be symbolic of the percussive sounds you're creating. Okay, 301, 2, and. The T is so good. The K is, it's like trying so hard. What it is you have to give a diaphragmatic kick. Compt, compt, compt. Now, and the other Germanic tradition is you really need to start a consonant really far before you sing, right? Because K doesn't have any pitch. The vowel has pitch, which means the K needs to start before the vowel when you sing. Compt, compt, compt. Not ont, 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 which is what we hear right now. Okay? 3, 1, 2, and. Much better. Now, some reason the notes got super short. Compt, compt, compt. But the consonants were there. So we're working on it. Okay, one more time. 2, and. And done. Yeah. Right now the tenors are winning. Both K's and T's. Alright? Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, and done. My impression is that the soprano said, okay, we're going to try harder. And the bassist said, okay, we're going to beat the tenors. Or it was a competition versus, okay, but that's great. Okay, let's put this together. 284. Now this needs to be, again, slightly pointed. It's a little bit antagonistic, it's a little bit sort of witty and fun, and it's got a lot of life and sort of merriment and loud crashing sounds in it, okay? Not angry, but sort of just like frivolous, right? Frivolity, which is not frivolous. 284. 2 and up. Favorite parts of all time. Now, let's start from bar 263. Basses alone. If you don't know how to trill, it's basically a really wide vibrato. If you can't do a really wide vibrato, then just sing the note. That's perfectly fine, okay? Basses alone. 2 and up. Good. Sing at the last one in a relatively open vowel. Can, right? And then kommt mit. We're going to call to me, right? Kommt mit wilden Klapperstücken. You have a lot of good K there. Kommt mit wilden Klapperstücken, right? Very good. Basses alone. Now, you have really good emphases. Ta, ta, ta. But what we want in addition to that is sustain. So both accents and long notes. Ta, 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 ta. Okay? Basses 2 and. That's exactly it. Now let's get more consonants. And then in your zeal, we sort of lost connection in the section. So what are two things to add to what you just did, which is phenomenal energy, is better consonants and then a little bit more connection so we have an ensemble tempo. Ready? 1, 2, and up. Good. That was excellent. I got much more ensemble. What I want to hear is more consonants for the first one. Kommt mit v for wilden, and then klar. with a K for that, okay? Kommt mit wilden Klappen, right? 2 and. That's it, much better. Excellent. Let's do tenors. Excellent. So tenors, the same thing for you, but your line goes much longer. But I want you to make sure that you have the same sort of sustain, but also accents for each note. So it's very marked but sustained. Right? One more time. Tenors only. 2 and. And. Yeah, that's great. Now, every single time you have KL, ka, can you make sure that it has a nice, good diaphragmatic kick? A diaphragmatic kick means kicking from your diaphragm. Pa, pa. Really give it a nice, energetic kick from your belly. Okay, one more time. Now, remember, yours is a different line than the basses, so don't get thrown off. 2 and. Yeah, not bad. Basses and tenors align. Okay? 1, 2, and basses. Tenors. Basses. Good. Good. Okay. So altos, your line alone. Now, you get to say kommt on like a line that looks like it's repeating the beginning. So I want that one to be really, really nice and strong again. Okay? 5 bars and 5 bars again. Is that just like an insane cricket? It is. Okay. It hurt us. Okay, great. Alto. 2 and up. And. Yeah, so it's got some really weird jumps as it is, but the one I want you to be really, really careful of is between 273 and 274. Between Wilden and Klappe, it's a whole step down. All the times you're doing half steps. And that one is a really weird one. It's like, oh, it's a whole step. And then you start jumping all over the place. Okay, so that's excellent. I think that you should take a breath before 272. A tiny breath so that you can have a nice K at the beginning of that note again. Okay? Excellent. Really, really nice. Good consonants. Now, we could use a little bit more sustain in it, but it's really excellent. One more time, altos. Right? 1, 2, and up. Stupid. Good. So for altos, C is a little bit on your break sometimes. And so if you sing it too hard, it's going to get a little chesty. So you want to sing it with a little bit more head voice. So it doesn't get too stretched out. Think of it in more heady. Sopranos. Now yours goes high, so change vowels if you need to. Right? Here we go. 1, 2, and. That's great. Now remember, at the top, there's a lot of people singing the consonant in the other voice parts, so don't worry about it as much. But you want to flip it. So you're singing a little bit more of an ah than an eh. If you sing an open eh, it actually becomes a little too bright. Okay? Everybody, 263 and continuing on. Okay? 263. 1, 2, basses, and. Right. Now I want you to take a breath that goes. Right? And I take the breath that really has nice depth and starts this entire line. 2 and. Excellent. Tenors. altos, sopranos. That's it. Keep it going. Basses. Long. In unser Rund. When you go to the high note, the same thing as I just mentioned the altos, that's above your break, and so you can't sing it sort of with the same sort of pointedness that we did the notes before that. You have to think very clearly, do, fa, change, head voice, right? Is that like you can't reach it from the bottom, you have to reach from the top. So just make sure you got that. That's excellent. Okay. Now, what is it? Basses. The bar before M, which I believe is bar 278, before that note, can you take a breath? So what we're going to do is, on the second beat of 2 bars before M, which is I guess 277, you're going to make a dotted quarter rest. So you're going to put the T of compte there. Okay? That will give you a nice breath. And then the goal is that note on 278 has nice accent on it, so we know we're starting a new section, even though the section before has ended. Okay? Can we start? Same place, 263, and then basses give a nice kick as we go there. Now, sopranos, altos, and tenors, you know that the basses are singing sustained chromatic line up, but you are doing the same thing as before, which is the short notes, compte, 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 but they sing compte, compte, compte. So let them sustain through, everybody else lock into each other, okay? 263, remember basses, same breath like this. Ta, okay? 1, 2, and. Tenors. Altos. Sopranos. Basses and breath. And yeah. Now, basses. So on bar 280, 1, 2, 3, 283, he still writes a long note. So we shouldn't take a breath there, even though it's going to be a little weird. You can take a breath anywhere else before that, but for this music to sound like the sustaining line goes through, and we're not going to alter it there, don't take a breath between those notes to attack the consonant order. Now, can I hear 280, sopranos, altos, tenors? We lost all consonants. Right? 1, 2, and. Yeah, I think it's more that we're missing some notes. Tenors, just alone for a second. Yeah. Do, 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 fa, so, so. Okay, right? Everybody there? Without the basses, sopranos, altos, tenors. 1, 2, and da. Excellent. Basses, it's going to be weird, but do you mind if we start from 280? It's in the middle of your line, but that's where they start their compte, okay? So the basses line is, okay? 280, 1, 2, and everybody. Excellent. So same basses. Excellent. Basses, that sounds absolutely fantastic, okay? It's going to be a little weird because on 280, 1, 2, 3, that place where it's a sustain, you really want to feel like you're going to attack that next downbeat really strongly, but for the sake of the bar beforehand, we have to continue through it. Back to 263 to the end. 263 to the end. Okay? 1, 2, basses. Tenors. Altos. Third bar, sopranos. Excellent. Nice. Bases. And okay, so the reason why the right before the last 6 comps, it's a little weird to hear it. It's because Paul's helping us out by playing your notes, but in those 2 bars of rest, or rather, 1.5 bars of rest, he has a big solo. So it makes sense when you hear Paul come in, cha ta 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 ta, and then we come in. So don't worry about it as much, but do count as much as possible. In, breath, and count. Just make sure you get your counting notes, but when you hear the orchestra and Paul coming in, it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, going back to 251, rehearsal L for Lama in your parts might have. Okay, let's try this. This slow. Ta, 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 right? 1, 2, and done. Not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay? Taken. Ta. TS, right? Kommt mit Taken, right? 1, 2, and done. Not bad without Paul this time. 2, and done. Without Paul, right? That means you're still singing fortissimo. You're just not with the pressure Paul, right? He's being very nice and giving you your first note. All right, 2, and no! That's really nice, okay? Now, impressive, full, and then basses continue. Da, 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 da. Let's try this from 251. A little faster. Ta, 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 bum. Call, don't be talking. Go, try. 1, 2, and done. Alright, now. That was in fortissimo, and I said full and strong. Full doesn't have to mean like sort of aggressively attacky tone, but it does mean sort of grounded. Ta, 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 instead of ta, ta, but definitely not ta, 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 right? 2, and that's it. Basses. Everybody, and tenors, altos, sopranos, and basses. Nice. Everybody. Yes. Can you play the last chord? Okay, so make sure your A is nice and clean. Okay, that's much better. Can we go to the 235? 235. The doorbell section. Paul, can you play this for a second? And yeah, that's right. Yeah, and doorbell section. 235. 1, 2, and up. Not bad. So what I want you to write in is that sopranos, altos, and tenors on bar 240 or 239, circle the crescendo, you're going to go towards mezzo piano. Tenors, you're actually going to start from mezzo piano. So bar 241 tenor starts mezzo piano, crescendo to mezzo forte. If you are on 243, I want you to crescendo from mezzo piano to mezzo forte. Tenors on 243, 45, 245, you're going to start mezzo forte to forte. Okay? So this is sort of a built-in, it's going to be weird because you have 3 voice parts versus 1 voice part, but the goal is just to create sort of an excitement and intensity. Now I'm hearing a little bit ta, ta, and that's not what the music is. Ta, 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 ta. The music is, all 4 notes are the same. What it feels like you're singing right now is a slur of 2 notes. Ta, ta, instead of ta, 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 ta. Okay? You see that there's no slurs over there? And listen to what Paul has in the orchestra. Can you just play the orchestra part? 2 and like 235, orchestra part. Ta 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 ta. 2 and sorry. 235. 2 and right? Do you see how those sort of twinkly, sort of like ta 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 ta? So you can't sing ta ta. Sort of not the right texture. Ta 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 ta. Okay. 235. 1, 2, and done. That's it. That's it. Crescendo and no. Good. So always for these fortissimos, I don't want you to think visually this way. I want you to think this way. Ta 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 instead of ta 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 ta. It's not like you're attacking somebody with a sword. It's sort of like you're a big statue or a big tree that goes ta 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 bum pa ta 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 bum. Has a lot of sort of weight to them. Now, so what's the difference between 235, 236, or if you're a tenor, 237, 238 on the next lines? The dots disappear. So it's not showing. It gets longer as it goes on, right? And so what we're doing is like you have to be very aware that in sort of increasing volume, the note lengths are getting longer too. So circle the dots there, but for the next one on bar 239, a little bit longer. Holy unser before you get to 243. We're really sustaining through, right? This is it's a big change. That's part of the fun. 235. Now remember, as we get louder for this piece, we're getting deeper. We're getting more grounded. Okay? 235. 1, 2, and up. Yeah, sorry. It's really excellent, but it really sounds like it sounds like the second note of each sort of phrase is really short, but the first note is really long. You hear the difference? You have to make sure that the 4 notes are about the same in length. Right now it sounds like which is not quite right. 235. 2 and down. That's better. Sustain more. Now sustain more. Sustain more. And sustain. Crescendo, and up. Basses and deep. Altos, sopranos, and basses. Basses sustain. And pop. And hold the last note that you have with Paul, and that's right, basses go down, right? Basses go down, and it's a third of the chord. Weirdly, it should be the root of the chord, but he surprises you, puts it on the third of the chord, so make sure it's not too low, okay? Now, can we do this from the sopranos line 219? 219. Okay? Done, right? Sopranos, 1, 2, and done. Altos, join me. Version. Not bad. Altos alone. Right? Ready? Da 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 da. Ready? 1, 2, and done. Yeah, Viola. Okay, we're gonna do Fells and Second, right? 229. Oh, ba da 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 da. Right, just right there. 1, 2, and da. Right, let's take a breath before you sing. 2 and. Right, why are we not hitting the first note? Right, 2 and. Just sing the first note. 2 and da. Yeah, remember that this is the above the break, so you have to think head voice. Right, just first note, 2 and done. That's it. Yep. Yeah. Think of the sigh and the breath that you take for the sigh. That's the type of way to open up that space, because for that high note above break, the way we access head tone is to lift up here and sort of let it resonate there. There are literally sopranos, professional sopranos, that basically say, sometimes I feel it resonate here, sometimes I feel it resonate here, like physically on cheekbones and stuff. Sometimes I feel it resonate here, like outside the body. And this is where you have to think. Right? For me, I hear it kind of like here, but you want to try to use the head voice again. This is right to N. That's it, you see? And so you have to think about, even though that's like just a couple notes in the high range, you have to think approaching it from this way. Ready? 1, 2, and done. Yeah, that's excellent. It's really weirding me out that it just stops and then starts again. Okay, altos. Let's do all the entire line starting from bar 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah, next again. So remember that the N-A with the double dots is next, and then leaden. So L-E-E is an A vowel. Leaden, Fels and Svecken, le, nice E vowel for that. Next, Weile. Okay, let's do it with the sopranos. Sorry for 219 with altos. Then get ready, tenors and basses. We're going to go into the doorbell section, okay? Kommt mit Sagen. Right? 1, 2, and down. Altos, and. And basses. Tenors. Now start to crescendo and get longer. Get longer. And crescendo. Don't rush. Ta 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 ta. And ta and yo and basses. Ta da da. Everybody. Tenors and altos, sopranos, and basses. Everybody. And palm. Everybody. Nice. That last pitch actually sounded like it fit within the chord instead of the section before that. That is really, really excellent. Why don't we take a break here for about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to put all the rest of this together. But the beginning part generally is okay most times. The middle part that we're about to get to is a little funny. Let's take a break right now, and then we'll come back. Do more.
Sadly, I'm an old soul, and I used to make things that were just. I'd like to go back to the 30s and come forward.
Yes.
And my
for something to grade on those things was terrible. And in the beginning it was sort of free classes. People were like, oh, they're great, just go zoom, zoom, zoom. And it was, oh no, it's too much, it doesn't come out right. Yeah, so we think about it. And I, the traditionalist, you have to go like this, or everything's great in college. And 2 years ago, Stephen was over. And Melissa Clark, who I love a lot, has a recipe in which you do it in full custard, but on the coarse grater. So they come out in these little strips. So they're not mushing, but they're like strips that can't be. With strips and latkes. I mean, try them. They're delicious. They're delicious.
What I need, now Bob is all this.
Yeah.
And he has all these microchips.
Yeah. We always did, but and so last night it was over. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 4 potatoes. It's done. It's amazing. I like it so much.
But they did a
Really? It's easy, but not that easy. Really? They're really good. I mean, yeah, they're really good. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Oh, so at Thanksgiving, it fell to me to make the dressing. So last year I made this dressing for the first time. The first time I didn't make it because I'm really not supposed to do it. And this it's another music recipe. And it's actually very funny. You know, occasionally she has a little video. So this is a video. She says, you have to make it with brioche. It's just delicious. There's a pixel. There's her mother. I make it with stale leftover bagels. And it's just to Melissa. No, you have to make it with brioche. It's just much better. I believe you should just get rid of whatever's left over. So this goes back and forth. But anyway, so in the notes, someone said, I've made it with flour. It's delicious. So Google, what's the difference between brioche and flour? The difference was brioche is quote unquote loaded with flour. So I said, all right, that doesn't have to be brioche. So I guess to add like another stick of butter. It was delicious. It was so good. It was really, but I think, you know, all this butter must be simulating the fat from the
I have a miniature. I'm almost embarrassed by.
Yeah. Oh, really? Mine is but they really well, this was is that but because this one's supposed to have chestnuts. I
Okay, let's come back.
So I won't tell you how my leftover Hanukkah did but it wasn't much. Switch back if they changed owners. I mean, not owners, but the concession.
Okay, let's look at bar 199. 4-part writing for the tenors and basses. We added the altos to the top line, tenor ones. But can you sing your first chord on bar 199, tenors and basses and altos? Call to end. Wait. Basses, baritones, second tenors, altos and first tenors. And I didn't hear K at all. 1, 2, and. Great. I hear a lot of bass 2s, but I also want to hear a lot of bass 1 because bass 1s are the only people that have what we call the root of the chord. It's the chord's name that's based off. It's a B minor chord, and baritones sing a B. So we need that note to be the strongest, okay? One more time. 1, 2, and That's it. Yeah, excellent. Okay, now let's do pa, ta, 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 pa, pa, ta, 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 going on with the sopranos and altos, right? 1, 2, and N. Okay, and then we get to bar we know. Bass 2s, can you hear you on bar 215? One of the best lines. It's just a straight arpeggio down. Ready? 1, 2, and Good, that's excellent notes. It's harder to tell what vowels you're singing. Let's try it one more time. Nehmen wir beim nächsten. Right, 1, 2, and That's better. Baritones join in, right? 2, and Yeah, I can hear the notes. Just make sure that we lock in the tempo. One more time. 1, 2, and That's it. With the tenors. All 4 voice parts, right? 1, 2, and Good. So the last note of each 2-bar phrase sounds like you're singing staccato. Ba, da, 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 ba, da, ba, 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 ba. You have to sustain that. Da, 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 da. If you can sustain it without taking a breath between the 4 bars, through the 4 bars, that would be ideal. Okay? Let's try one time. 1, 2, and Yeah, almost. I still hear people sort of giving up on the last note. Sustain it. Ta, 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 pa, ta, 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 ta. Hey, one more time. 1, 2, and That's excellent. Now it sounds a little flabby and unconvinced. It needs to have a little bit more energy, but that's better. 199, all 4 voice parts. Sopranos and altos get ready to come in. With zeal, as they say. 2, and And excited. Get more excited. And crescendo. And sit. Basses. And basses with tenors. Altos. Sopranos. Altos. Basses. And sustain basses. And sustain. Not bad at all. So I feel like this section is feeling better. Bass twos, bar 215. You're the ones that actually have a different line. Everybody else is sort of very similar to what they've been singing before. So that can probably come out. That can come out. Don't diminish it as much, okay? Sing that nice and firm because it needs to sound different. We need to make that one sound different. Okay, let's go to the hardest part. One of the hardest parts. 141. Gaben kommt. Komm jetzt, hackt und mit Gaben. Haut in order. Okay, let's just see what happens. 141. Hold those pitches again. Tenors and basses hold this first pitch and very, very clean and came in different times. So let's do it all together now in firm forte. And excellent. Right, here we go. 1, 2, and let's just do the tenors and basses for now, right? Sopranos and altos, don't worry, you will have your time too. Tenors and basses, right? Just those 4 bars. 4.5 bars. 1, 2, without call, and Kommt. Can you sustain through? Kommt. Instead of kommt. See? Kommt. So make the MT sustain through. Kommt, me, where was it? Okay, yeah. Kommt, Mittag und mit. Can you get the T and mit? Und mit. Garden kommt. Okay, one more time. Rehearsal 141. 1, 2, and Kommt. Sing those last 3 chords. Ready? 1, 2, and yeah, but don't slow down. But that was much better. Kommt. Ready? Are those pitches again? Kommt. Ready? 2, and yeah, I'm missing the T's. Ready? One more time. 1, 2, and yeah, can you get kommt, and I'm missing the pitches. Kommt, 2, and yeah, let's please play along with them. No, kommt. Right? Kommt. 2, and that's better. Now can you exaggerate these? Kommt. 2, and you see how they're not put together now? See if you get it. Kommt, 2, and that's better. Now, when we get faster, what we get is calmed, 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 right? So what we want to do is to keep the sustain calmed, 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 instead of calmed, 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 okay? Last two chords in time, calmed, 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 2 and up. In tempo, calmed, 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 2 and up. Well, now we have 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2 and up. Almost. It's getting there. Sorry for rehearsal. Sorry, bar 1, 4, 1. 1, 2 and up. Better. Kommt mit taken. Can you come with taken with a little more right? 1, 2 and up. Not bad. Now see if we can stay together. Ready? 1, 2 and up. Without me tapping, 2 and up. Not bad. Pitches are a little squirrely, but it's okay. Keep on working on it. Sopranos and altos, here's your time. Let's hear it. Ta da da ta da da ta da da ta da da ta 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 ta. Ready? 1, 2 and up. That's not bad. Let me hear it without Paul. Ready? Give it the opening picture sound. 1, 2 and up. Not bad at all. Not bad. Let's give him a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you, basses, for giving them a round of applause. Okay. I think it's Stan plus 3 people. Okay, let's do 141. Everybody, right? Now, again, this is sort of virtuosic and energetic, not sort of flabby. Keep it nice and taut. 2 and up. Ah! That was like limp spaghetti. It needs to start off with a crack, with a bang. Calmed, right? 1, 2 and up. Yes! Sopranos, altos, and. Oh, not bad. But altos at the last one. Calmed. You want to make sure that the T is right there in time. Okay, so make sure you have a nice T there. Can we do 153 and going on? 153 and going on. 1, 2, and up. Altos. Everybody, and up. And up. And nice teeth. Nice. We're getting the hang of the consonants. That's really, really nice. Can I hear from, let's try 59.
Page or measure?
Sorry, bar 59. Bar 59. H. Page 54, bar 59, Mendelssohn. Right? Because the Brahms is opus 54. Okay. Ready? 59, bar 59. 1, 2, and up. Excellent. N. N. Crescendo. Touch pieces. Alto, 2, 3, and then breathe. And down. And down. Not bad at all. Really, really getting there. Let's start from the tenors and basses. Come me talking, put me going, to the tour, daisy flower. Come me talking, put me going. Right? 1, 2, I gotta give you 1, 2, here we go. Sorry, this is the beginning, bar 33. Ready, 1, 2, here we go. Not bad. Yeah. Okay, really not bad. Let's get laden, and we're gonna do den, sie, fahren. We're gonna keep close our vowels a little more. Not den, den. Can we talking? Can we talking? Okay, let's start with this. Can we start 2 full bars before you enter? So ta da 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 1, 2. Can we talking? Okay. And 1, 2, and 1. Good. So you have to be ready to breathe quicker than the just the 8th note beforehand, because it's going to actually go faster than this. So I want you to think about breathing on the bar 33. 1. So ta da 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 da. Call me talking instead of call me talking. Call me talking. Okay. Call me talking. Okay. Let me try to be a little bit better in my diction. Ready? 2 bars, 2, and up. Breathe. Yeah. Almost jump out a little bit more. One more time. And up. Breathe. Yeah. It's so much better, but it's late, and I know it's going to get later if you breathe out of time, okay? Ready, one more time? 2, and up. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go! Yeah, you see we're getting later, because if you practice it 1, 2, and it's not going to work like that, especially if it's faster. So I want you to feel like you're breathing on the downbeat of 33. Listen to Paul and I do it for a second. Komi-talking. Okay, komi-talking. Okay, you want to make sure you breathe on the downbeat of 33. Right? Komi-talking and 10. And breathe. Almost. Yeah, almost. Start a little earlier. 1, 2, and that's the best one yet. That's the best one yet. Now if you give it a little K, a little kick, and start even earlier before that, I think it'll be even better. That's much better. Right? 33. 1, 2, sorry, 2 bars before 33. 2, and breathe. That's it. Not bad. This time with Paul playing your part 2. All right? 31, 2, and 1, and breathe. Nice. all. Not bad at all. Can we start from bar 56? 56. Hold on. Go hold on. Calms, right? 1, 2, 56, go. Yeah, those are sustained, not lifted. Da, ba, 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 not da, ba. Now, can you look at bar 65? Now, do you see what the sopranos and altos have there? That's the rhythm you're singing, but it's not written like that. It's a sustained note. It's different. The sopranos are singing something different there, and you're singing what they have in the rhythm there. You shouldn't be. In bar 56, you need to be singing sustained dotted chord notes. There's no rest in between. Bar 56. 1, 2, and up. Yeah, but that doesn't mean there's no consonants. Right? Right, 1, 2, 6, 2, and up. That's it. Now let's go back to a little bit before that. From 45. 45. I heard a great K on this. This K was great. 45. 1, 2, and up. Alright, 1 second. Opening pictures again. Ready? 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, 3. And. Yeah. Can you get the T in there? For und, we don't have the T for other times to sing it. Let's try it one more time. 45. 45, 1, 2, and up. Not bad. I heard some people did a good attempt at it. Let's see a little bit more. Ready? 1, 2, and up. Yeah, right there, 50, bar 50, I didn't hear the T of the und. Remember, German's nice because every single vowel is pronounced. Every single consonant is pronounced. Everything is pronounced. So, it's not like French where half the sounds are disappeared, right? Hey, I want to run through this entire thing. Starting from bar 1. So, the point of starting from bar 1 for tenors and basses is really to get used to following along and figuring out exactly where you are when you come in, so you're really, really clear. Okay? Here you go. Bar 1, 2, and up. What's else? Now, in the grand scheme of things, we skipped a step, and the step was to do it all through, but Paul playing your notes. But Paul played the orchestra part, and it was fantastic because everybody really got into it. And there were parts that were a little shaky, but for the most part, everything was really there, and it felt like we knew what was coming next or what we should be doing. It was really great. Okay. My favorite part is number 7. After all the Christians run away, the music is literally you guys all laughing. So can you, Paul, play this? Ready? And go! You see how celebratory and fun that is, right? And so it's like you're skipping around, and it's just really, really nice. So that's great. What I want to do just in the last few, we've done a lot of Mendelssohn over the last, I think, like 3-4 weeks or something like that. And I just want to do a little bit of the Brahms, since we're all 4 voice parts together for the first, well, not necessarily the first time. We did it 3 weeks ago, right? Okay, we start from maybe page 6 before B. Altos, we'll start 2 bars before you start. What's it says, "Give on the broken, believe." Okay? And basically, breathe in. And one. Off. 10 minutes. Everybody. And one. And you have to watch for the changes. And N. N. Yeah. So yeah, nice job staying together. But you have like a whole big Paul going cha da 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 ta da 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 ta da ta dee dee ba ba. Okay, you want to do a little faster? Let's try 109. So 3 bars before you got ta 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 and un ta ta pa pa re and da ku ti ge na pa and the tree that is falling we love it we love it and not bad at all. I realize it's been a long time since we did it, and I think we actually never took it up to a real tempo. So we got a lot of notes there. That's great. I want to do this one more time. Last thing we do, bar 109, and I want to hear the first note, da hum, okay? Give them a D just because it's fast. Da bum, right? 1, 2, 3, and 2, and. Yeah. Let me just do it with the chorus. 1, 2, just the chorus. 1, 2, 3. Just the chorus, right? 1, 2. No, sorry. Just the chorus. Just the chorus. 1, 2. Yeah. Da. Make sure the D is clear. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay. Now with Paul, right? And da. 1, 2, and da. Nice. So that's great. We did a lot of really heavy work on movement 6 in the Mendelssohn. Now, when we start doing more of these in-person rehearsals together, we're going to sing through them, of course, but we're going to build off of it and go to the next movements. We haven't spent much time on movements in 7 through 9, but what I want to do is, for the next few rehearsals, is go review those parts in the Mendelssohn, the opening parts, a little bit more. And then do the same thing that we did here, is to run the Brahms a bunch of times. It's just to get it used to in our system in person. And so keep on listening to the Brahms. And then next week, again, we're going to be doing a lot, maybe 2/3 on Mendelssohn, and then the rest of it on Brahms. But congratulations, everybody. Welcome back. And then, of course, thanks to everybody, to Paul, who's been doing some time job. Okay. See everybody next week. I'll see you there.